What's up, guys? I just wanted to get on here for a bit and talk about my first impressions with Starfield. I played it last night here on YouTube on stream for 5 hours, and I had a pretty good time. I think it's a pretty good game, and I wanted to talk about my first impressions with the game in case you're thinking about buying it. It's the new hype game everyone's trying to play. Obviously, new Bethesda game, the creators of Skyrim and Fallout, two fantastic games. So people are wondering what this new installment and Bethesda is, if it's any good, is it really bad, yada yada. So I wanted to talk about it, in case you're thinking about buying it. Obviously I got early access to it because I just thought it'd be pretty fun. I don't recommend buying the $100 early access version of the game. Just wait a week. Unless you're held at gunpoint and you're gonna die if you don't buy it. It's a good game, but at the same time, it's just 1 week. Just wait, to play it on September 6th. Don't get the super expensive version to play it a week early, Obviously, with the premium version of the game, you get other stuff too, but obviously I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. You can do whatever you want, but I wanted to talk about my first impressions of the game, what I thought about it, and gameplay, everything you can do in the game. Is it any different than Skyrim and Fallout? Is it better? Is it worse? I wanted to respond to some stuff I've seen online as well about the game. And so, yeah. So, first, let's talk about the story, the lore of the game. Basically, what are you doing in this world? So, I'm sure all of you who are watching this know Starfield. It's basically like a space exploration game with a bunch of different planets, a bunch of different solar systems you can travel to. You can do fights on these ships and whatnot, just fight other ships. When you kill them and blow them up, you can take their loot, stuff like that. And then you can go travel to all these planets, and every planet has different animals, different people on them. Some people are good, some people are bad. Some planets have whole cities on them with people, with shops and all this stuff. And then you can scan all the planets. You can scan ores. You can mine ores on these ships. You can scan the enemies on it. So then, let's say you want a certain type of flesh, from an enemy, or if you want a certain ore, you can go after you've scanned it. You can then go and you can look at the planet and be okay, what does this planet have on it that I've scanned? Oh, this planet has iron. Oh, I can press R on my keyboard and I can see the deposits of all where this iron is on this planet. So if I need iron, I can go to this planet, I can go to this location. There's going to be deposits of iron for me to mine. There's so much shit to do. I'm not even going to get into it like that yet. Let's talk about the story of the game. So essentially, the story of the game, you're a miner, you're down in the mines mining minerals and ores and stuff like that, and you come across this artifact, and you touch this artifact, and you kind of go through a limbo. And I don't mean how low you can go. I mean a limbo where it's all black. You're kind of seeing a vision where, there's stars and there's bright, music playing, and there's a light. It's you're dying almost, right? And then you wake up and you're oh, what happened? And they're oh, man, you were out for quite a bit, man. Are you okay? And essentially, these people can hold the artifact perfectly fine. They're not experiencing what you experienced. So it kind of sets it up that you're this unique kind of individual, the chosen one, you know what I mean? And so later on into the game, a couple minutes later, this isn't a huge spoiler, you find other people that are also, that have this ability that you have, that these artifacts affect them, and they've already found two artifacts. So you found the third one. So they've already found two artifacts, and they found that when artifacts are together in the same area, they kind of float up in the air and they make this puzzle almost, and the artifacts are the puzzle pieces. So essentially what the goal of the game is, you're trying to find all these different artifacts around the world, and you're trying to put them together to make this giant puzzle, and you're trying to see what this puzzle is. And it's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. I'm not a big story guy, but I do think it's kind of cool when games have kind of this eeriness, this big question as to what is this. In Fallout 4, I forget what it was, but the Fallout 4, there was this big boogeyman. I'm not going to spoil Fallout 4, but there was this big boogeyman, and that was kind of the question there. What is this thing? Am I ever going to reach it? And when you reach it, it's oh my god, this is way cooler than I thought it would ever be. So that's kind of how this game is. I've never seen anything about this game, so I'm going into this completely blind, and I'm loving it so far. So yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's like, what happens when all these artifacts get put together? Is it going to make some big explosion? Is the whole planet going to blow up? Is, like, what is it? What's going to happen? It's a big mystery, right? And I think that's really cool. So yeah, let's get into the gameplay, man. I've already talked about it a bit, but you are in space. The ship itself is just insane. You can customize your ship however you want. I don't know why this is the first thing that I think of when I think of customization. You could also think of it like a Grand Theft Auto car. You can change the color of your ship, but for some reason I think of the Fall Guys levels, how you can customize like Fall Guys courses. That's how the ships are. Like, the ships are fully customizable. You can move engines around. I don't want the engine here. I want the engine here. I don't want, this laser here. I want this here. And that's really cool. It's fully customizable. You can change the colors on it. You can buy better ships with money, which is really cool as well. You can upgrade your current ship, upgrade your shields, upgrade how much damage you do with lasers, damage with missiles, upgrade your engines, all type of stuff. It's so cool, the amount of customization with the ship. And you can also recruit people onto your crew on your ship, which is so cool. But there's just, even like on top of that, there's so much stuff you can do just to like mess around. Like, for example, I've seen on the internet people talk about this game and they say, L game, this is a bad game. Dude, it's literally, seriously, it is just like Fallout. It is just like Skyrim. If you like those games, you'll like this game. Like, the combat seriously isn't anything out of this world. I wish it was. I wish it was like, man, if I shoot his right arm will like blow off of his body. I really think that would be really sick. But, that doesn't happen in this game, which is really unfortunate. The combat's super basic. It's just like, oh, there's an enemy, let me shoot him. It's nothing out of this world. It's nothing bad either. It's just, normal. Nothing crazy about it, which, kind of sucks, but it's not bad in any way. But there's so much stuff you can do to mess around. Like, you can, go pickpocket people. Oh, this person has $1,000 on him. They call them credits. They call money credits in this game. This person has 1,000 credits on him. Oh, let me pickpocket him, steal that. Obviously, they have abilities. As you level up, you can upgrade abilities, upgrade your pickpocketing level, your stealth level. You can upgrade how good you are with pistols, how good you are with machine guns, how good you are with weapons with lasers on them. You can fully customize weapons, add stocks, barrels, all this kind of stuff to your weapons. You can cook food, which is sick. I think you can even buy a house in this game, and then obviously put all your valuables in your house. And oh my god, the game is just massive, man. And it was seriously a brain overload learning all this stuff. So every planet is obviously different, like I said. God, before I even get onto that, I'm thinking of so many stuff. So one thing that I did in this game is you can obviously steal stuff. It's so open, right? As you would expect from a Bethesda game. You can lockpick into people's homes. I've done that. Lockpick into people's homes, which is sick, dude. I thought it'd be cool if you could steal a ship. I tried to steal a ship. I saw a ship land and I tried to go up to it. I don't think you can. Or even better than stealing a ship, I think it'd be cool if you could go in the ship and like kind of steal the items they have around. And if you get caught, oh no. So it's kind of like a risk, you know what I mean? I think that'd be fun. I don't think that's something you can do, which really sucks. But it doesn't matter. There's so much stuff you can do in the game. One thing that I did is there was this like grocery store kind of. They were selling food. And I snuck into the back of the grocery store and I stole so much ramen and so much food out of the back of that grocery store. There was a worker back there too. I pickpocketed him. He had like $100 on him. I stole that. Like, it's just so fun. The amount of stuff you can do. It's so enjoyable. And obviously you have quests too. Like, I'm just talking about messing around. You have quests like, all right, go kill these people. There was one thing. There was a space station out in space. So I left this planet. I got into my spaceship. I went out into space. There were some bounty hunters trying to kill me. Apparently someone put a bounty on me. That's another thing. When people are talking to you, you can lie to them, you can try to persuade them, and that will increase your persuasion level. As you level up, you can put points towards your persuasion, how good you are at persuading people, how good you are at lying, all this type of stuff to get better at these super unique aspects about the game. But I went up to the space station, I docked onto the space station, and I fought some enemies on the space station. The lockpicking in this game is really weird, but that's another thing you can upgrade. You can upgrade your lockpicking. Like, God, there is just so much to do. There is so much. It's so fucking big, this game. It is so much fun. I don't understand why people think it's like a bad game, dude. It's so cool. Just the amount of shit you can do. Like I said earlier, you go on these planets and you see different monsters in each planet. Oh my God, let me tell you about the planets. Dude, it's like unreal how big this game is, seriously. So, there's solar systems. There's like fucking, I don't know how many solar systems there are. There are so many though. I looked on the map. Maybe there's like 30 or 40 solar systems. I don't know. Maybe there's more than that. Maybe it's a type of map where as you explore, the map gets bigger, like in Elden Ring. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm not even seeing all of it, but there's probably what I can see now, 30 or 40 solar systems. Each solar system has a shit ton of planets in it. One of these solar systems I'm in has like 8 planets in it. Another solar system has like 7. There's so many planets. So you go to these solar systems, there's so many planets. Obviously, every planet has something, different enemies. There's like outposts of enemies. You can kill the enemies. You can plant your own outposts down. It's insane. It's seriously insane. It is such a good game. Like, I'm so happy with this game. I love it, dude. Like I said, I only played it for 5 hours, but the amount of shit that you can do in this game, the amount of just stuff, and you'll be walking. It's crazy too. You'll be walking, like the other day on stream. I was just walking. I was looking at all the commercial areas because I was trying to buy ammo because I was running low on ammo in one of my guns. So I was like, oh, let me try to find where to buy ammo. You can work for the cops in the game, by the way. Oh my God, there's just so much to do. One thing that I did, which was so funny. I keep thinking of ideas, but then I think of another idea, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk about this before I talk about that. One thing that happened in the game last night when I was streaming it, I went to kind of where the police are. They don't call them police. They don't call them cops in this game. I forget what they call them. It's like ultra security or something like that. It's UC, ultra, I don't know what it is. But there was a guy in a jail cell. And so I pickpocketed one of the cops, and I took the jail key from them, and I opened the jail door, and the guy in the prison walked out and tried to like get out of there, and the cops saw that, and everyone in like the area started freaking out. Oh my God, he's out. And the cops literally shot and killed this guy. It was unreal. But you'll have these random NPC interactions. Like the other day I was just playing, I was walking around, trying to find pistol ammo. And this cop came up to me and was like, man, this guy under this tree is being weird. He's doing some real weird stuff. And then up pops a side quest. Talk to the guy under the tree. And I went and talked to this guy under the tree, and he had a bunch of stuff scattered throughout this planet. And I went and I picked them all up and I delivered them to him. Like, God, there's just so much. And it just seems like it never ends. I don't know how big the game is. Like I said, I've never seen anything about this game. I've never watched a trailer. I've never seen anything about it. I just knew it was a new Bethesda game, and I was excited to play it because I love Skyrim. And I know this is an unpopular opinion. I love Fallout 4. I think Fallout 4 is the best Fallout. I know people really like New Vegas, but I love Fallout 4. And I was excited for this. And for people to call it an L game, it's just stupid. This obviously, like, it isn't some super groundbreaking, deviation of Skyrim and Fallout. It's pretty similar to those games, but it's so fun. Those games are just so perfect. They don't really need much to be changed about them. And this is fresh, in its own way. Like Skyrim in space, Fallout in space. It's so nice. It's so cool. There's so many missions, so much to level up, so much to explore, so many enemies to kill, so many weapons. God. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know where. I feel like I've talked about so much, But at the same time, there's so much that I haven't talked about because the game is just huge. Yeah, you can buy ship parts. You can upgrade your ship. I've already talked about upgrading the ship, but if you're like in a fight and they start damaging your hull, you can. Well, I play on a keyboard, right? So I press O, and then it upgrades like my ship. It repairs it, not upgrades. It repairs it, and I have people on my crew who do stuff as well when we're like in fights. And every person has unique like abilities, I guess. So you can even plant people on outposts. God. So like if I go to a planet and I make an outpost, I can be like, I want this person to stay at this outpost who's on my crew. You stay here. It's so cool, the amount of stuff you can do in the game. It's just unreal. And I only played it for 5 hours. So this is my first impression of the game. Maybe I'll make a video on my final thoughts when I beat the game. I imagine it's going to be as good as it is now, though. I really like this game so far. And yeah, I'm excited to play more of it, man. It's really fun. Like I said, it's really fun. You know, if you're dying to play it, spend the 100 bones on it, then, you know, do that if you want. If you just want to wait a little bit, you know, it's a $70 game, which is insane still. That's so expensive. But yeah, it's great. I had a fantastic time with it last night. And yeah, maybe I'll do some more streams with it. It was a good time. So yeah, that's my first impressions of the game. Overall, I think it's fantastic. I love the amount of stuff you can do. There's so much variety. It just seems like it never ends, the amount of shit you can do. It's like, when is it going to end? I feel like for everything I learn, like every time I feel like I've understood something, they're like, okay, here's this new thing. Here's another new thing. Here's another new thing. Last night, I was getting like a brain overload. It was like, okay, here's this new item. Here's how to do this new thing. Here's how to do this new thing. So it's a lot. It's probably very daunting for a lot of people. Oh my God, this new thing, this new thing, this new thing. Oh my God, my head hurts. My head's going to blow up. You know, it's a lot of stuff. So I totally get that. That's how I felt last night. But, you know, you get used to it. It's a new game. That's how it's going to be. And it's a huge game at that. This is probably how Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to feel. All right, here's you can press this button to do this. Here you can do this. Here you can do this. So it's overwhelming. But, you know, when there's a lot of stuff to do and you feel overwhelmed, that's when you know, in my opinion, that it's a good game because of the variety. So, yeah, those are my first impressions. I'm sure there's a lot that I forgot to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot that I missed. But like I said, there's just so much in this game. It's impossible for me to talk about it all. And yeah, that's my first impressions of the game. Thanks for watching.